Imagine this. A peaceful family trip turns into a nightmare in just seconds. A 9-year-old girl vanishes without a trace from a quiet park, sparking a massive search across the entire state. This isn't a movie plot. It's exactly what happened to Charlotte Sena, the little girl whose disappearance captured the hearts of millions of Americans. But her story didn't end there. It became a powerful lesson in courage and the power of swift justice. Stick around to hear the full story. Before we dive into the details of this case, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Charlotte Sena was born on September 4, 2014, in Greenfield, Saratoga County, New York. She still lives there with her parents, David and Tricia Sena, and her 2 sisters. Charlotte is a cheerful blonde girl who loves cats, snakes, and all kinds of wild animals. She's sweet and friendly, always kind to her family, friends, and classmates. Charlotte is also very smart. Her kindergarten teacher even called her the big thinker because she always wanted to know how and why things worked. At the time of this story, she was a 4th grade student. In late September 2023, specifically on the 30th, the Sena family, who love camping, went on a camping trip with some friends at Moreau Lake State Park. Charlotte, who joined her family on this trip, was 9 years old at the time. When they arrived, the parents set up the tents and prepared the campsite, while the kids played, had fun, and rode their bikes. Charlotte and her friends went for a bike ride on a circular path near the campsite made for bikes. They started around 6:15 p.m. The girls did several laps on their bikes. Before it got dark, Charlotte's friends decided to head back, but Charlotte chose to stay and do one more lap. Time passed, and Charlotte didn't return. Her parents started to worry. As mentioned earlier, Charlotte didn't return, and her parents began to worry. Amid their growing concern, they launched an intensive search that included: first, the parents searched the area around the campsite where the family was staying. Second, they asked park visitors if anyone had seen her. Third, at 6:45 p.m., they searched the circular bike path that Charlotte had taken. Afterward, Charlotte's parents informed the park rangers about her disappearance. The rangers joined the parents and several volunteers in the search, using flashlights to help look for her. During the search, Charlotte's bicycle was found by the path, but there was no sign of the girl herself. This led her parents to suspect she might have been kidnapped. The kidnapping theory seemed reasonable, especially since the bike was in good condition. There was no reason for Charlotte to leave it behind and disappear like that. Worried and desperate, her parents immediately contacted the police to find Charlotte. The police arrived at the scene at 7 p.m. and began inspecting the area. Immediately, they gathered information from Charlotte's parents about the last time she was seen, when she was last seen, what she was doing, what she was wearing, and any details that could help identify her or understand where she might have gone. The officers initially considered the possibility of kidnapping since Charlotte was missing and only her bike was found. However, they did not rule out that she might have simply gotten lost among the park's trees. The police also closed the park and set up barriers and checkpoints, thoroughly checking every vehicle to find any trace of Charlotte or clues that could lead to a potential suspect. At the same time, search teams began combing the surrounding area, including trails and other places Charlotte might have gone. The search was not easy due to the park's large size. To cover more ground, the police requested help from firefighters, forest rangers, and the state police. Additionally, specialized search teams were brought in, accompanied by police dogs for tracking scents, and drones were used to survey the area from above. The search continued into the night, but Charlotte was not found. As Charlotte remained missing, and the kidnapping theory grew stronger, FBI agents also got involved, focusing on identifying a potential suspect. The FBI used advanced techniques such as tracking mobile phone signals and reading license plates. They also requested surveillance footage from inside the park and surrounding areas, including traffic cameras, to help trace the suspect's movements and the timing of the incident. Authorities asked all visitors who were in the park on the day Charlotte disappeared to come forward with any information they might have. Additionally, the FBI's CARD team, consisting of about 70 specialized agents, provided technical and forensic support to the local police. The team worked behind the scenes, offering expert advice, analyzing forensic evidence, and guiding search strategies. The day after Charlotte disappeared, the search continued, with about 100 people combing around 46 miles of the area surrounding Moreau Lake in the park. After the initial search proved unsuccessful, the New York State Police and county authorities issued official statements announcing Charlotte's disappearance and asked anyone with information to contact them. The news was also shared through local and national media, including television, newspapers, and news websites, to expand the search and involve the community in helping the police. Social media was used to share Charlotte's photos, what she was last seen wearing, and phone numbers to report any information that could help find her. Additionally, the police activated Amber Alert to quickly notify city residents about Charlotte's disappearance, hoping to gather any valuable leads. This alert was issued the day after she went missing, after police considered the kidnapping theory likely. Despite all efforts, the search did not succeed in finding Charlotte. The FBI's investigations also failed to identify a potential suspect. On October 2, 2023, while the search for Charlotte was still ongoing, a significant turning point occurred in the case. At 4:20 a.m., a man approached the Sena family home in his car, placed a note in their mailbox, and quickly drove away. This happened right in front of police officers who were monitoring the house. The man's actions seemed suspicious for several reasons. First, the timing, leaving a note so early in the morning, was unusual. Second, he was extremely careful when placing the note and left very quickly. The odd behavior immediately raised suspicion, prompting the police to examine the mailbox and the note. Their concerns were justified. The note revealed that the man was the kidnapper. He stated that Charlotte was in his possession and demanded $50,000 in exchange for her safe return. The note was immediately sent to a lab to lift fingerprints and try to identify the sender. As mentioned, the note left by the stranger was sent to a lab to check for fingerprints. Fingerprints were indeed found and then matched with the police database. The comparison revealed a match with fingerprints already on file with the New York State Police. The fingerprints belonged to a 47-year-old man named Craig Nelson Rass Jr. His prints had been taken previously when he was caught driving under the influence of alcohol. Once the kidnapper's identity was confirmed, police quickly moved to arrest him by raiding his home in Milton, New York. However, upon arrival, officers discovered that the house was no longer owned by Craig. It had been seized by the authorities due to his unpaid taxes for several years. This obstacle did not stop the police from tracking Craig's location. After further investigation, they found that he was living in a trailer on his mother's property, located behind her house. They also identified his mother's home in Ballston Spa, about 14 miles from Greenfield. After locating Craig, a SWAT team from the state police, an FBI tactical team, and other units raided his location with a search and arrest warrant. The team surrounded the trailer and managed to arrest Craig. He offered some resistance, but it was limited and quickly subdued. The raid was focused and precise, using special tactics. The teams were fully prepared, so the situation was controlled quickly, without any injuries. Initially, the teams thought Charlotte was not inside the trailer. But after a careful search, they found her alive, hidden in a closet under a pile of rags inside the same trailer. Charlotte was taken to the hospital for a checkup. After examinations, doctors confirmed that she was healthy, with no injuries and no life-threatening conditions. Upon hearing the good news, Charlotte's family rushed to the hospital, finally reunited with her. The Sena family issued a statement expressing their happiness at Charlotte's return and thanking the FBI, New York State Police, all involved agencies, as well as families, friends, and volunteers who helped. A few hours after Craig's arrest and Charlotte's rescue, the New York State Police held a press conference announcing the child had been found and the suspect arrested. After the successful raid and Craig's arrest, he was taken to the police station for questioning. He was interrogated about his whereabouts since Charlotte's disappearance and about the ransom note. Craig was charged with kidnapping for ransom, a first-degree kidnapping offense in New York State. This crime carries a sentence of 15 to 40 years in prison, or even life imprisonment. A month later, additional charges were filed against him. Craig, who was held at Saratoga County Jail without bail, pleaded not guilty to all charges and appeared uncooperative with authorities. Investigators then entered the second phase of the investigation, which included checking if Craig had any connection to Charlotte or the Sena family, analyzing cell phone location data to determine if Craig had been at the park at the time of the disappearance, reviewing park records to identify visitors who entered and paid fees that day, interviewing Craig's mother to see if she knew anything about the kidnapping before, during, or after it happened, investigating any potential links Craig might have to other unsolved disappearances or murders in the area using his DNA sample. Despite Craig's continued denial of all charges, both to the police and before a judge in Saratoga County, New York, the evidence against him was strong and multiple. First, his fingerprints matched those found on the ransom note sent to the Sena family home. As mentioned earlier, Craig's fingerprints were already in the police database from a previous DUI arrest. This was a key piece of evidence in his case. Second, Charlotte was found held captive in the trailer where Craig lived, located behind his mother's house. Third, Charlotte's testimony. After being rescued 47 hours later, Charlotte courageously gave a detailed statement to law enforcement, calmly and clearly describing everything that had happened. Her bravery and detailed account helped build what was described as a strong prosecution case. This information was crucial in convicting Craig Rass. Despite the strong evidence against Craig Rass, the prosecution offered him a plea deal. This was done to spare Charlotte from testifying in court, given the traumatic nature of her experience, while Craig continued to deny his guilt. Normally, when a defendant denies charges, the case goes to trial, and the victim must testify. Craig accepted the plea deal and changed his plea from not guilty to guilty on February 21, 2024, just weeks before his trial was set to begin. Craig Rass Jr. pleaded guilty to first-degree kidnapping and another related charge. During his court appearance, Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Buckley stated that they had more than 2,000 photos, hundreds of videos from body and surveillance cameras, emails, wireless transmissions, and witnesses to use against him. Craig agreed to the plea deal to avoid a criminal trial, successfully sparing Charlotte from having to testify in the case. Craig Rass's criminal trial was initially scheduled to begin on April 8, 2024, because he had continued to deny all charges. However, after accepting the plea deal, his sentencing hearing was set for April 17, 2024. During this hearing, Craig Rass was sentenced to 47 years to life in prison. This included 25 years to life for the kidnapping charge and 22 years to life for the other charge, to be served consecutively, one after the other. Craig will not be eligible for parole until he is 94 years old. During the same session, victim impact statements were read, with the statement from Charlotte's family being the most powerful and impactful. Assistant District Attorney Jennifer L. Buckley read the statement on behalf of Charlotte, who did not attend the hearing. Charlotte's statement described the impact of the crime on her life and addressed the punishment the kidnapper deserved. Some excerpts included, "Because of you, I cannot sleep at night. I was locked up for 2.5 days, and now you will be locked up for 47 years. You chase my thoughts, but now I will chase yours. Eventually, I may forget you, but you will never forget me. You will never hurt anyone again." The statement did not mention what happened to her during the kidnapping, as the Sena family chose to keep that private to protect Charlotte. Only the investigators involved in the case were made aware of those details, which Charlotte shared despite her young age. Additionally, Tricia, Charlotte's mother, delivered a strong statement directly addressing Craig Rass. She said, "He took something from her daughter that cannot be replaced, and she will never forgive him." She praised Charlotte for her strength and courage, telling Rass, "She put you here. I hope you understand that. She put you here because she was not afraid." Tricia requested that the media and attendees refer to Charlotte as the survivor rather than the victim. She expressed her hope that Rass would feel the absence of his family over the next 47 years. Charlotte Sena's story carries many important lessons on a personal, family, and community level. Here are the key takeaways. Personal level. 1. Be cautious during outings. Even places we consider safe, like public parks, can be dangerous under certain circumstances. Staying in groups reduces risk. 2. Trust your instincts. If something feels off or someone acts strangely, it's better to move away or alert an adult. 3. Learn survival skills. Knowing how to call for help, shout to attract attention, or attempt to escape in danger can save lives. Family level. 1. Supervise children closely. Watching children, even in seemingly safe places, reduces the chance they could be taken advantage of in a short moment. 2. Teach children about strangers. It's important for kids to know how to respond if approached or lured by someone unfamiliar. 3. Use technology wisely. Tracking devices or smartphones can help locate children quickly when needed. Community level. 1. Effectiveness of Amber Alert. This case showed that activating Amber Alerts helps spread the news quickly and contributes to finding the victim alive. 2. Importance of cooperation between authorities. Coordination between local police, state police, and the FBI was crucial in quickly capturing the criminal. 3. Monitoring former offenders. Craigrass had a prior record, highlighting the importance of oversight for people with previous convictions in child-related cases. The deepest lesson from Charlotte's story is that danger may be closer than we imagine, and a fast response from family, community, and law enforcement can save lives. It also gives hope that justice can be achieved relatively quickly when evidence and cooperation are available. Finally, don't forget to support us by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. See you in the next video.